So let's start with S3. So what is the full form of S3, guys? S3, simple storage service, correct? Simple storage service. We know little bit on S3. So in S3, what do we create? Okay, let me ask you questions if you remember or not. S3 is what based storage? Very good. S3 is object based storage. Object based storage. S3 is object based storage. Very good. So in S3, what kind of files we can store in S3? In S3, flat files. You can store all flat files. Okay. So in S3, you can only upload, download, and access file from S3, correct? You can only upload, download, and access files from S3. Guys, is it possible to execute any files in S3? No. The files in S3 cannot be executed. Okay. And what do you know? Yes. Guys, is it possible to install operating system, database, etc. in S3? You cannot install OS, DB, etc. in S3. No, we cannot do that. Nice. And can you attach S3 to the EC2 instance as a volume? No. EC2, correct? Can access only from EC2. SC is limited storage or unlimited storage? S3 is unlimited storage. Does S3 support static website hosting? S3 supports static website hosting. What else do you know? S3 is cheaper than EC2? Obviously, S3 is cheaper than EC2. S3 is serverless or server based? S3 is serverless. And what do we create in S3? Bucket. What is a bucket? And we say that it is a container of objects. Bucket is a container of objects. Yes. What is an object? Object is a file. And what is a key? Name of the object. Name of the object is called the key. Correct, guys? Do we know all these things already? Yes. And S3 is global or regional? S3 is global. So unlike EC2, in EC2, what we used to do, guys? In EC2, we launch an EC2 instance in Mumbai region, right? And then if we launch another EC2 instance in Ireland region, both we cannot see together in one place, correct? We cannot see that. You have to go to different regions. Whereas in S3, you can create buckets. So you can create a bucket in Mumbai, and you can create bucket 2 in some Ireland region, and both buckets can be seen in the same location from the same console. Right? So we can create the buckets, even though those are in different regions, but all the buckets you can see as a list in the S3 console. So now let us learn a little bit more on the buckets. So we create a bucket. So these buckets are regional or global, guys? Buckets are, yes, buckets are regional. That's the reason why I said you can create the buckets in whichever region that you want, you can create the bucket. Just a second. Yeah. So, so we create a bucket name, correct? We create a bucket name. Those bucket names, but guys, talking about names. These bucket names are universal. What? These bucket name universal or unique. These bucket names are universal or unique. So let's say, for example, you have created a bucket name called test. Is it possible to create others with the same name called test? No. Doesn't matter, it is the same region, same account, guys. So if Pooja has created a bucket called hello, can I create a bucket in my account called hello? No. Somewhere some people might have created a bucket called test. So guys, generally these names, test 1 2 3, my bucket, your bucket, that all these nasty names might have already created and used by some other people, so that we cannot use the same. So now you might have a question in your mind saying that, sir, if the bucket names are unique, so isn't it difficult to give the names? No. So always better to give the names with the project name or your company name, or some pre or prefix, or some you can add it in front of the name, right? But you cannot give the bucket name called test, my bucket, like that. Those are all very common names that might have used by other people. So you create a bucket, guys. Is it possible to create bucket under bucket? No. Bucket under bucket is, no, you cannot create it. So you create a bucket. Inside that, if you upload anything, what that will become? That will become object, correct? So there is no concept of nested bucket. Okay, no nested buckets. Bucket under bucket cannot be created. Bucket under bucket cannot be created. Guys, can you create the buckets in different regions? You can create buckets in different regions. Guys, the maximum number of buckets you can create in the region is 100. How much? Certification question. Maximum number of buckets you can create in S3 is 100. And that too, guys, that is a soft limit. If at all you want to increase this 100 to some other number, you can create a ticket with AWS and then you can increase it. So guys, you create a bucket. By default, this bucket is public or private? By default, buckets are, yes, private. If required, you can make it public. You can make it public. By default, buckets are private, guys. If required, you can make it public. What is that? Is it's per region, right? Question mark. Ravikant. Please frame the question properly. So, guys, is this clear till here, everyone? All good? Per account, not per region. Nice. Okay. So now let's create a bucket here. For example, no, there are some bucket, Siraj, there are some, what do you call? you need to follow some rules in order to create the bucket names. It cannot start with letter, case sensitive, and all. So we'll see that in while creating the buckets. So let's take for example, we created a bucket which is a private bucket. Okay, this is a private bucket, and I created in Mumbai region. Okay, assume guys, and the bucket name is, let's say for example, 9 a.m. bucket. Okay, so inside this 9 a.m. bucket, I have created a folder called photos. Can I create folder called photos? Yes. Inside these photos, I have uploaded a object called puppy.jpg. So same like in your Google Drive, guys, G Drive. If you have uploaded any file, how do you access it? Each file will have its own URL. Yes, right? Same way here also, it has its own URL, or you can call it as endpoint, or you can call it as object URL. Okay, you can access each object using the object URL. How does that object URL look like? I'll give an example. This is a certification question. Let's say http // 9 a.m. bucket dot s3 dot ap minus south minus 1 dot amazon aws.com. I'm just giving an example. Photo / puppy.jpg. Guys, this is how the URL look like. Remember, sometimes you will in certification they'll give the URL like this, and they'll ask you to identify. So what is the bucket name here, guys? By seeing the URL, can you say the bucket name? Yes. So this is the bucket name. This is bucket name. So S3 is, can we call it as a service name? Which service URL is this? Yes, it is a service name. Okay. And then AP minus south minus 1 is what? It's a region. By seeing this, you can identify all these things, right? And then this Amazon AWS.com, can we say it is a domain? AWS domain. Yeah, its own domain. What are photos here? So photos basically is a subfolder, correct? Agree? It's a subfolder. So instead of subfolder, guys, in S3, you can call this as prefix. What do you call? Everyone, this is very important. Everywhere you get this prefix. The subfolder in S3 is called as prefix. Everyone write down prefix. Prefix. Okay. So what is this .jpg at the end call? Just call it as suffix, right? Suffix. So what is the object here? Puppy.jpg is the object, correct? Right? And if I want to access puppy.jpg, as you have it in subfolder, do you need to access your puppy.jpg using with the subfolder only, right? Can you access directly puppy.jpg without subfolder? No. So if you want to access that object, so what is the key that you need to mention? So, so the whole thing, we call it as key. Key that includes your prefix also. Is this clear, guys, everyone? So how to postmodern this URL? City. Nice. So, by the way, this S3 um, is morely used for write purpose or read purpose? You tell me. Yes. S3 is mainly for the read purpose. You can write also, but you should not keep on writing it, guys. Is S3 is mostly used for read purpose. You write once and then read many times, right? For that, I have a shortcut call. This is called warm model. Warm model. Warm model meaning write once, read many. That is called warm. So S3 follows this warm model. So you write once and then read many times. So it is not used for only write purpose. No, it is used for read and write, but more on reads, less on writes. All good today till here before I move to the next topic. Any questions? Smooth as butter. Okay, nice. Yes, you can create folders, subfolders, multiple things. Okay, so now concentrate, guys. So now let's talk about versioning concept in S3, right? S3 versioning. Generally, can you tell me what is this versioning meaning? What is versioning? You are just, you can tell in your words. Mhm. Updates, backup, latest build. Okay. So you know versioning, but what is this versioning here in S3? So before I talk about this, can we consider versioning is like a backup tool? Yes. Why you need versioning? So let's say, for example, you have uploaded some files. You have uploaded some files. Let's say you have uploaded, you know, 2 files or 3 files. So, and then let's say you have uploaded the same file, first file 3 times. So in the backend, how many versions will be created for each file? 3 versions will be created. The same way you have uploaded this to 2 times or 3 times, same as this. And how many times you have uploaded the file, those many versions will be created. Correct? So just in case if someone has deleted this original file or object, can we restore it from the latest file? Yes, that is the concept of versioning. That is the concept of versioning. You can restore it from the latest files. So if you restore the old ones, what you need to do? Let's say this is V1, V2, and V3. So latest version will be automatically restored. But if you want to restore version 1, what you need to do? You need to download this and upload it back again. If you want to restore, the latest version will be restored. But if you need the old versions, what you need to do? You download it and upload it back to S3 again. And then that will become your latest version. So to getting it, what is versioning? Oh dear, okay. So that's the reason why I call, can we call versioning is like a backup tool? Yes. So by default, this versioning will be enabled in your bucket, guys? No. Well, if you want, you can enable. Otherwise, don't enable. Simple. Versioning is not mandatory. It's a feature. We'll be learning each and every feature, right? So versioning is like a backup tool. So by default, versioning is not enabled on the bucket. So let me start writing all these wonderful points. So versioning is like a backup tool. Versioning is like a backup tool. So by default, versioning is not enabled on the bucket. By default, versioning is not enabled on the bucket. And tell me, versioning is enabled on the bucket level or on object level? Can you guess? Versioning is enabled on the bucket level or object level. Okay, object level, it will be implemented. Let's say you have 1 million objects. Will you go and enable versioning for 1 million objects one by one? No. For that reason, we'll enable the versioning on the bucket level. So once you enable the on the bucket level, the versioning will be implemented on the object level, will be applied on the object level. Make sense, guys? So versioning is enabled on bucket level. It's enabled. It's on the bucket level, but will be applied on object level. Make sense? Yes, versioning is chargeable. Versioning is chargeable. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's take, I have created a bucket here, the big one. Okay, this is the bucket. Okay, I have created a bucket and the bucket name is 9 a.m. Let's say version demo bucket. Okay, version demo bucket. Let's say while creating the bucket, I have enabled the version. So versioning is enabled. So guys, I have created a bucket and the versioning is enabled on the bucket. Okay. So now I went and uploaded puppy.jpg file. I went and uploaded puppy.jpg file. And then what I did, I went and updated this puppy.jpg same file again and again 3 times. 3 times I have uploaded. So how many versions will be created here? V1, V2, and then V3. Correct? Which is the latest version here? V3 is the latest version. Okay, this is our latest. Okay, so how many times I've uploaded with the same file, those many versions will be created. Let's say, for example, now I've uploaded another file called, let's say, index.html. Same thing. Here also, I have uploaded this index, modified or uploaded this index.html 3 times. Why I'm saying 3 times? Because I don't have space. That's the reason why I'm saying 3 times all the time. So here, version 1, version 2, and then version 3. Which is the latest version again here? V3 is the latest version. Okay, now, so someone went and deleted this index.html object. Guys, someone has went and deleted this object. If someone has went and deleted this object, guys, in the versioning, guys, how does the versioning look like? So you know what? If you go to S3 bucket, there will be a button like, like this. You need to off and on, switch on and off, slide button. Okay. If you right side, if you slide it, versioning will be shown. All the versioning files will be shown. If you close it, versioning files will not be shown. Yeah, it's kind of toggle, right? So here, so whenever you see index.html got deleted, and if you toggle that versioning button, right, guys? So now you can see a marker is applied on this latest version. What is that marker? That marker is called delete marker. What marker is that called? Everyone write down. Everyone write down. Delete marker. Delete marker is applied on the latest version. Delete marker is applied on the latest version. So now what will happen if the, how do you restore it now? If you want to restore index.html, what you need to do? Guys, simply you need to delete this delete marker, right? If you delete this delete marker, guys, automatically this version 3 will be restored here. That's how simple you can restore it. So if you want to restore the object, what you need to delete? You need to delete the delete marker. So guys, remember, whenever you see delete marker, what does that mean? Today, if you see delete marker, what does that mean? Your original object got deleted. Whenever you see delete marker, that meaning your object got deleted, and that's the reason why delete marker is applied. And if you want to restore it, what you need to do, simply select that, delete that delete marker, and then select the delete marker, and then it will be restored. Delete the delete marker, it will be restored. Make sense? So for each and every version, there will be a version ID which is always unique. Agree? Hmm? No. This is for individual. Individual object will have same the individual things, guys. Kiran. So latest, if index.html will be there, if index.html you have uploaded 3-4 times, those many versions will be there. And then if someone deleted index.html, delete marker will be applied only for this index.html latest version. And you delete that delete marker and it will be restored. So if you delete puppy.jpg, yes, for puppy.jpg, right, you can, if you delete it, delete marker will be applied for that. Yes, you can restore bulk also. So select all the delete markers. It is checkbox. You can select it and delete all the delete markers, and then you will be, all the files will be restored. Correct? Okay. See, those who are asking the questions. Yeah. So here version ID is always unique. Version ID is always unique. So guys, versioning files can be downloaded anytime. Versioning files can be downloaded anytime. Yes or no? If you need to, have version 1 as the latest one, what you need to do? Can you restore that version 1? You cannot directly restore it. You need to download it and then upload it again. Okay. Yes. Very good. So I write it here. If you delete the original object, delete marker is applied on the latest version. Delete mark is applied on the latest version. If you want the object to be restored, what you need to do? Delete the delete marker and your object is restored. Your object is restored. So I'll write here also. If you want to restore old version, simply download and upload it back to bucket. So delete marker is applied only on the latest versions, correct? Delete marker is applied only on the latest versions, not for the old versions. Old or previous versions. Okay. Guys, remember, you cannot download delete marker version. You can only delete it. Once the delete marker is applied, is it possible to download the latest version? No. No. You cannot download delete marker version. You can only delete it. You can only delete it. Makes sense getting it till here, guys? And one more thing. Once you have enabled the versioning, guys, once you have enabled the versioning, you cannot disable it, but you can only suspend it. I was also got confused initially. So, but there is no word called disable it while you have enabled. You need to, what you need to do, you need to suspend it. Both are same. But the thing is that there is no wording called disable. That's right. So once you have enabled the versioning, you cannot disable it. What you can do? You can only suspend it. You can only suspend it. You can only suspend it. So what will happen if you suspended the versioning? Let's say for the same bucket, I went and suspended it. Okay, suspended. Guys, I went in purposefully. What do you do, guys? You go and purposefully suspend it. No, it will automatically suspend. No. So you need to go ahead and then suspend it. Can you resume it afterwards? Yes. Anytime you can resume it, anytime you can suspend it. No issues. Let's consider now, you think, you thought like, this, for this bucket, you want to suspend the versioning. So you went to the properties of the bucket and then suspended the versioning. Now you purposefully went and suspended the versioning. And after suspending the versioning, what you did, you went and uploaded some test.py, some file, some image or Python file or anything. So you have uploaded test.py. Guys, whenever you upload test.py, in the backend, latest version will be created. Latest version is created. And now someone Pusuk went and deleted the test.py. Delete marker is applied. Yes, whenever someone deleted the object, delete marker will be applied. But now, let's say, guys, you have uploaded this test.py 3 times. Versions will be created for this. No versions will be created. No versions will be created. No versions will be created. So you'll see the latest version only, and then someone deleted the object, you will see the delete marker. So once you see the delete marker, what you do, you go and delete the delete marker. Will it be restorable? Will it get restored? Answer is no. Answer is no. You cannot restore it because you have suspended the versioning. If you have suspended the versioning, right? If you have suspended the versioning, you cannot restore the files. Correct. So what will happen for the existing files for puppy.jpg? Guys, the versioning will be continued for that, no issues. But any objects which is you have uploaded after the suspension, for that this restoration cannot be possible. But existing object which has the versioning enabled, for that you can restore it. Okay, city clear? So if you write it down, if you upload a object after versioning is suspended, what will happen? The latest version will be created as usual. Okay. But if you update the original object, versioning files are not created. Make sense? Not created. If you delete the original object, delete marker is applied. Hare Babu. Okay. If you delete the original object, delete marker is applied. But if you delete the delete marker, what will happen? Object will not be restored. Object will not be restored. And I also writing it. Guys, I no need to write all these things. I can just teach you and leave, but I'm writing it for you so that you can read it later. In suspended state, what will happen? Existing versioning files will not have any changes. Correct, guys? That meaning versioning concept still continues, even though versioning is suspended at present. Is it clear till here, guys? Everyone? Dear, all good? Titi, all good? Smooth as butter, slowly. Okay. How many you want? How many times you have updated? Those many versions will be created. Ravan. So S3 is limited storage or unlimited storage, guys? S3 is unlimited storage. S3 is unlimited storage. So if it is unlimited storage, what is that? Sir, initially you told if we delete delete marker, object restore. Correct. What is your question? But now it will not be restored. Huh? So did you, this internet is gone for you in between? Sai Kumar? See, everyone are answering. So it's concentrate, man. Once it is suspended, then it will not be restored. That's what I'm saying. Okay, S3 is unlimited storage. So, but you need to understand the guys, the minimum and maximum object size. Remember, minimum object size you can upload is 0 bytes. What is that? 0 bytes. And maximum object size is 5 terabyte, guys. What is that? How much? What is the minimum size? Everyone say minimum. What is the minimum size? 0 byte. What is the maximum object size that you can upload? 5 terabyte. Now you said 5 terabyte, which is restrictable. No, guys, I'm saying you can have unlimited number of objects having 5 TB each in single bucket. Okay, but can you tell me, is it possible to upload 5 terabytes in single shot? No. So for that, for single put, you can upload only maximum 5 GB. In single put, how much you can upload, guys? This is a certification question. Only 5 GB. Now you have a question, sir, how about the rest? So guys, if you have a huge file, what you need to do is you need to break those files into small chunks. You need to break the files into small chunks. How do you break the files into small chunks? There is a feature called multi-part upload. What is that? Multi-part upload, in shortcut, MPU. So what this will do, you break the files into multiple chunks, right? And upload it chunk by chunk. So you break it and then you upload it chunk by chunk and it will be uploaded. So AWS recommend if you have greater than 100 MB, he say use MPU. So guys, what the habit what we have? So how much big file it is doesn't matter. We click on upload, browse, and then hit enter, and then we'll be waiting for ages. But here AWS says that, but if you have any files greater than 100 MB itself, use MPU is saying. But what we do, 5 GB, we'll try to upload in single shot. What will happen? Your network crunch will happen. It will take a lot of time. So in your real time, if you want to upload huge data to S3, you can use the concept called multi-part upload. Chiti, is this clear till here? Any questions? All good? Okay. Okay. Once uploaded, it will be single file only at the end. Okay. So now we have something called storage classes. What is that today? Everyone write down. Storage classes. Chunk by chunk meaning part by part. Mukka by mukka. Thoda thoda. Okay, storage classes. Yes, obviously, Siraj. Yes. So guys, what is this storage classes? So initially, guys, listen this carefully. Storage classes, remember, while uploading the object into S3, selecting the storage class is mandatory, first of all. But what is the storage class? Do you remember initially in EC2 section, I gave an example of Pani Puri guy. for the pricing model? Do you still remember? Same way, one of the customer came to AWS saying that, hey, AWS, I want to store the files. So AWS says that, yeah, sure, we have S3 bucket. So create a bucket and start uploading and use it. So that customer number one, what he did, he went and created the bucket. He started uploading all the files and he's accessing all the files, uploading, downloading, accessing, everything he's doing. Regularly he's doing it. And let's say, for example, he's paying some 10 rupees, for example. And second customer also came and said that, hey, AWS, I want to put my files. Can you suggest me? And he says that, yeah, sure. Go ahead and create a bucket in S3 and put your data and access it. The second customer also went and created the bucket and started accessing it. But he doesn't have any requirement to access his files regularly. Whereas the customer number one, he's accessing the files regularly, whereas customer number two, he has created a bucket, he has put the files, but he's not accessing, he's not using the S3 as customer one, number one is using it. But he is paying the same amount as customer number one. So customer number one, he's paying 10 rupees, and this guy is also a second customer also paying 10 rupees, but is he leveraging the S3 fully, the second customer? No. And he got a question now, hey, as I'm not accessing S3, my data frequently, like customer one using, why I need to pay 10 rupees? This is how the question that he got. So since then, AWS thought that it is a valid question, and what he thought, he has created something called storage classes. So he created storage class where, hey, if you want to access your data regularly, frequently, use this storage class. And if you want to put your data, but you don't want to access it frequently, then use this storage class. So like this, AWS started creating multiple storage class for different kind of requirements. Earlier, we used to have only 2 or 3 storage class, but now there are many storage classes we will learn now. So remember, while uploading the objects into S3, selecting storage class is mandatory. That is important. Everyone agree? This is clear. This is mandatory. Selecting a storage class is mandatory. Which are the storage classes now we have? We'll see. The first storage class, what we'll talking about, is called standard frequently access. In shortcut, call FA. What is that? FA. Standard frequently access. This is the storage class that AWS implemented first. So what is the storage class talk about? Guys, the name says frequently access. So this storage class can be used those who want to access it frequently, correct? Agree? This is used for frequently access data. Okay? This is used for frequently access data. And you know what? We have so many different type of storage classes, but there should be one default storage class, no? This is the default storage class. Certification question. Which is the default storage class? What is your answer? Standard frequently access, SFA. So when do you use this? For all your regular purpose, no? For all your regular purpose, you can use this storage. Like you can, for storage purpose, you can use it. For website purpose, you can use it. For images, you can use it, etc. For all kind of general purpose, you can use this one. Guys, tell me, for this, okay, for uploading, you will have the data charges. For retrieving, you will have any data charges for this frequently accessed data? No, Because guys, if you put retrieval charges for frequently accessed data, you will get so much of bill. For here, for frequently accessed, remember no retrieval charges. No retrieval charges. And guys, the second customer is seeing from other side and he says that, hey, please for me also. Yes, the second customer came and say that, give me storage class for me also. And for that, AWS came up with something called standard infrequently storage classes. Infrequently access, IA. In shortcut, you call it as IA, infrequently. Infrequent. The name clearly says, no, when do you use this? This is used for infrequently access data. Simple. You create a bucket, you upload your files, but you're not using it frequently. Once in a while, you're using it, then go for this storage class. Because as it is infrequent, you might be smart saying that, sir, what I do, sir, I'll select the storage class called infrequently, but I'll use it frequently. Will that work? No, because for here, retrieval charges apply. So if you're using it frequently, your retrieval charges will be applied. Okay. Yes. But it is cheaper than FA. Obviously, it is cheaper than FA. And will it take time to access if it is free infrequently? No, it is demand rapid access. That meaning immediately you can access it. There is no waiting time or something because it is infrequently. Don't think that it is infrequently accessed. So if I want to access it, do I need to wait? No. Same like frequently only you access it, but only retrieval charges will be there. So we have these two storage classicity, but now there is another third customer saying that he's just watching, and AWS asked, "Hey Babu, hello dear, what happened? What do you need?" And he said that, hey AWS, I'm also a third customer. Okay, tell me what is the requirement. So listen this carefully. The third customer said, hey AWS, I want to create a bucket. I want to put my data. Good. What is your access pattern? What is the access pattern? And he says that my access pattern is frequently access. I want to access it frequently. Then AWS suggested go with the number one. But this customer said that, hey, my data is not that important. You don't need to give me any kind of high availability. If my data is not critical, if something happens also, it's okay. Give me some discount. Eventually they say that, give me the discount. He want to access it frequently, but his data is not critical. For this kind of requirement, AWS came up with another storage class called reduced redundancy then the storage, RRS. Write down the storage class, RRS. So guys, these are all based on the requirements. So when do you use this? When do you use this? If you want to access it frequently access, but not critical. Frequently access, but not critical. As it is frequently access, any retrieval charges? No retrieval charges. You guys are catching super fast. Yeah, very good. But as the name itself says, reduce redundancy. Is it good to use this kind of storage classes? No. So AWS itself doesn't recommend to use this storage class because AWS doesn't want you to lose the data. And obviously it is cheaper than others. So by seeing this third customer, fourth customer also came. And he says that, hey, AWS, I want to access my data. And AWS asks, what is your access pattern? Tell me, how do you access? You want to access it frequently, not frequently, or frequently with not critical. And this guy says that, I want to access it infrequently. Okay, if it is infrequently, go with the second one. And he also said that, but my data is not critical. Discount, please. So for this, AWS came up with one zone IA. One zone IA. Write down one zone IA. What is this one zone IA? Infrequently accessed data, not critical. Infrequently accessed, but not critical. But not critical. So it is infrequently. Retrieval charges apply? Yes, retrieval charges apply. Understood? By seeing the fourth customer, fifth customer also came. And AWS started banging his head. And then AWS asks, hey, number fifth customer, tell me what is your requirement. Hey, I want to put my data in S3. AWS said, that's good. Is it frequently or infrequently or frequently with not critical or infrequently with not critical? Tell me, boss, what you need. And he said that I don't know. What? Yes, I don't know. AWS is asking, you want to access it frequently or infrequently? I don't know. Critical, not critical, I don't know. For this kind of Gajini customers, AWS came up with something called intelligent tier. What is that? Intelligent tier. So for in this intelligent tier, the access pattern is unknown. Unknown access patterns. Unknown access pattern. So unknown access pattern meaning based on the customer access, based on the customer access. If he's accessing it frequently, then it will go and sit in first one. If he's accessing it infrequently, it will go and sit on the second one. Flexible. Depend upon the requirement, they'll be accessing it. Understood? And there is a last sixth customer says that, and we all know that, what is that? So that is the sixth storage class is called Glacier. What is it today? Glacier. We know this Glacier, no? What is this Glacier is for? Is it frequently or infrequently? Yes, infrequently access data, and which is this is used for archiving purpose, correct? This is for archiving purpose. Guys, in S3, what do we create? We create bucket, no? The same way in Glacier, instead of bucket, we should call it as vault. What do we call it as today? Vault. What is that we call? Everyone write down vault. What is a vault? What does the vault contain? Simple. What does a bucket contain? Bucket is the container of objects, no? Here vault is the container of archives. Vault is the container of archives. Right? And what is archive? Archive is nothing but your object. Right? Object, your zip files. Guys, your zip file. You're zipping it and you're archiving it, no? Zip file. And you know what, guys? One archive can be up to 40 terabytes. How much it is? One archive can be up to how much? 40 terabyte. Like this, you can have unlimited number of archives in single vault. unlimited number of archives in single vault, right? And how many vaults you can create? 1,000 vaults. Guys, it's too much, no? Huh? Retrieval charges apply? Yes. Retrieval charges apply because it is infrequently. Getting it today? Clear, everyone? All good? You are not archiving buckets, you are archiving objects, Murli. Do not put buckets inside it. We cannot call it, we call it as vault. Your archive is nothing but your zip file. How do we zip it? Same like in your laptop, how do we do? If you don't want the data, simply zip it and then push it. Simple. Here, zip it and then create a vault and put your zip in that vaults. And that zip file can be how much? 40 terabyte, one single zip. Okay, so guys, retrieval charges apply. But here for Glacier has some retrieval options. Glacier has retrieval options. Glacier has retrieval options. Number one, guys, if you want to restore it from Glacier, can you restore it just like that simply? No, it will take time. So we have something called retrieval option called expedited, standard, bulk. So if you want to retrieve the data immediately, guys, it will take 1 to 5 minutes. If small data, not huge data. Okay. So expedited meaning it will take 1 to 5 minutes. Standard meaning it will take 3 to 5 hours to retrieve your data. Bulk meaning if you want to huge data, it will take almost 5 to 12 hours for the retrieval. Guys, okay? Okay. One important thing. Guys, there is something called availability and durability. What is availability? Availability. Can I say anytime? And durability? Can I say long time? Shortcuts? So for each and every storage classes, there are availability and durability percentages that AWS is giving. So availability, durability. Okay, the availability for the standard frequently access, your data availability for the standard frequency is 99.99%. Your data will be available. Durability meaning how long, how many years until we die. So it is 11 nines, 99.99999. How many nines? Total 11 nines. That is the durability there. For each and everything you have like that. Here, for infrequently access, the availability is reduced because it is infrequently. 11 nines are still there. And here also in reduced redundancy. So that means your durability got reduced 99.99%. So one zone also, it is only one zone. That meaning your data will be only in one availability zone, guys. So here availability is drastically reduced. And for intelligent tier, unknown access patterns, 99.9%. For Glacier, I think is fine, 99.99% and 11.9. Guys, understood? And also, there is a minimum object size for each and every storage class. What is the minimum object size that we have learned? Minimum object size? How much? Yes, 0 bytes. So for here also, minimum object size is there. It is 128 KB. How much is that? Guys, for infrequently, it is 128 KB. So for infrequently, it is 128 KB. That is a certification question. Okay, another question here. Guys, let's say, for example, you have all your photos uploaded in one S3 bucket. After 2-3 years, will you access those photos? No. After 3-4 years, you will not be accessing that frequently, correct? Guys, so now you went for some trip and you will access the photos frequently. So once after 3-4 years, will you keep on accessing it frequently, all the photos? No. So if you want to access it frequently, which storage class do you choose? First one, FA. Okay, now you uploaded all your files, some, let's say, some 1 lakh or 100,000 photos in frequently access. Okay, 2 years, 3 years happen. Is it worth to keep in the same storage class where you are paying certain amount? So which one is it good to move to which storage class? Infrequently, no? Or you can move it to Glacier, no? Guys, so is it possible to move the object from one storage class to another storage class? Answer is yes. It is possible to move the object from one storage class to another. But is it possible to move it manually? No. We need to move it automatically. So for that, there is a feature called in S3 life cycle management. What is that? Write down. Life cycle management. In shortcut here, LCM. In this life cycle management, you create life cycle rules. You create a rules based on the where you want to move. You want to move from first one to second one, or second to third, or first to Glacier. It's up to you. It is possible to move the objects from one storage class to another storage class automatically using this LCM. How? We'll see later. But possible. And there are few things, guys, here where minimum duration should be there. Like here, minimum duration. So you cannot simply move it. So if you want to move to infrequently access, the minimum duration should be how many days? In S3, the minimum duration should be 30 days. Here also, minimum duration, if you want to move the storage classes, minimum durations are 30 days. Here for Glacier, minimum duration is 90 days. Okay, question for you. What is the minimum duration to move it to the Glacier? 90. What is the minimum duration to move it to infrequently access? 30 days. So guys, latestly, AWS came up with another storage class called Deep Glacier. So Deep Glacier meaning it's like more dig it and then push it. Okay. So Deep Glacier, as the name suggests, for that minimum duration is 180 days. So if at all you want to push it to very deeper and you don't want to access it frequently at all, then go for Deep Glacier. City, everyone clear till here? Let's stop it here. So S3 is very, very, very simple. As we, guys, EC2 itself, we have done very simply. right? So SC is also very simple, but there is a lot of so many interview questions, so many certifications you will get it from S3. So we need to go very deeper in the theoretical, logical things. Okay, so that's why I'm going very minute. Also, we are learning. We are going and learning it. Okay, clear? Any questions? Take the screenshots. Done. And second one. And go with the third one. Okay. And there is a message to you personally. Can you reply to me? Guys, any other questions still here? All good? 11 nines meaning 99.99999 percentage, not years. Everything is measured in percentage.